We all know that our democracy is out of balance. We all know that too often a small group of wealthy donors and corporate interests can drown out the voices of the rest of us, determining who runs for office, who wins elections, and what issues our leaders address. And at Demos, our research is arguing that this elite dominance of our politics has brought us the inequality era, where our economic policies reliably favor the already wealthy and well-connected and undermine economic mobility in America. But you know, what the 8 out of 10 Americans who understand the money and politics problem tend not to know is that we can fix it. And that's where our next honorees come in. Fair Elections for New York is an unprecedented coalition of business leaders, unions, advocates, scholars, organizers, philanthropists, and ordinary New Yorkers who want to make the Empire State the first state to respond to Citizens United by showing politicians what citizens are actually united about, which is getting big money out of politics and putting the people back in. The Fair Elections campaign is an alignment of many who have worked together for years to build progressive power in New York, and others, including single-issue groups and national networks who found it frankly irresistible, the possibility of an achievable yet game-changing win for the people. I don't know that there's ever been a rally where rural, upstate anti-fracking activists and urban affordable housing advocates join together for the same cause, but that's one of the things that this campaign has achieved. It's been a really smart, savvy, pavement-pounding effort for over a year, and it even included the first in the nation anti-super PAC super PAC that showed candidates that they can win or lose on the issue of campaign finance reform. We know that public financing makes a difference, not just to elections, but to policy, to the rules that shape opportunity. In Connecticut, after they won public financing there, the issues that matter to everyday citizens outside of the donor class, things like college tuition, sick leave, the minimum wage, and ending special interest revenue loopholes, they got a fair hearing, and lobbyists lost their grip on power. And my friends, in a matter of days, we will win here too. Thanks to Fair Elections for New York, who is about to bring home an astounding victory to pass fair elections in New York and in Albany. So please join me in welcoming Dan Cantor of the Working Families Party, Karen Scharf of Citizen Action in New York, and I don't know, a dozen other people who are going to come up on this stage Oscar style and accept this award on behalf of Fair Elections.
Yeah, the floor. All right, you can see we have a really big coalition, and this is just a few of the leaders of it. First, I just really want to thank Heather. You know, I think we all know that there's no better leader and spokesperson for democracy and fair elections than Heather McGhee. Thank you, Heather. And thank you also to Miles and Donna, both of whom were my mentors and trainers at Connecticut Citizen Action about 1 million years ago. And thank you also to the rest of the Demos staff who's also worked so hard with us on this campaign. Dan and I and Working Families Party and Citizen Action have been leading this effort for a while now, but I want to especially recognize one person who's really been the real leader of the effort, Jessica Wisniewski, the campaigns director of Citizen Action, who came to New York 7 or so years ago to lead this effort and is really trying to bring it home this year. as I said, we have a big, and as Heather said, a very unusual coalition. Given our time limits tonight, I'm just going to go through and mention the names of the organizations joining us here tonight who have been critical in our efforts. The Brennan Center for Justice, the Center for Working Families. I'll go with the Miles rule, clap at the end. The Brennan Center for Justice, Center for Working Families, Common Cause, the Sierra Club, Met Council on Housing have been some of the groups that have been most active on the issue and organizing and policy side. We've had major labor union partners, many of whom are in the room tonight and many of whom are up here with us tonight. The UFT, 32BJ SEIU, the CWA, 1199 SEIU, the UAW, NYSET, RWDSU, UFCW, the TWU. Every one of these unions has worked really hard with us in Albany and with their members organizing support for this campaign. At the national level, Public Campaign and Public Campaign Action Fund have played an incredible role mobilizing both the national work, the resources, the intellectual work, and the strategy on the ground to help us get this done. And without, their marshalling of the national effort has just been critical. Mark Kaplan from the Piper and Proteus Fund has really organized the incredible resources for this campaign that has made this possible. Mark's organized donors from all across the country to focus their resources here in New York. And Jonathan Soros has not only been the core funder and fundraiser for this effort, but also a key partner in the work, first with starting Friends of Democracy, the super PAC to end super PACs, as Heather mentioned, but has also just been a key strategic partner to Dan and myself and all of us in developing the campaign and figuring out how to move this along and try to move the difficult partners we have in Albany who don't really want to get this done, but who we're forcing to do it. And I also just want to thank Citizen Action's grassroots leaders who have been keeping at this fight for many years and have brought us to this point. Jim Anderson's here, vice president of our board. And they're representing our grassroots members and the grassroots members of the many organizations up here who have been relentlessly working day after day, year after year, in the local level, at the districts, trying to move these legislators to do something that is against their self-interest, but in the interest of all of us. And it's in the interest of all of us because I'd say it's, sadly no exaggeration to say that our democracy has been hijacked by wealthy corporate campaign contributors whose money more and more determines not only the outcomes of our elections, but the policy decisions made every day by our government. The wide and growing economic inequality in our state and in our country is no accident. The influence of big money shaped policies that led to deregulation, union busting, lower wages, and the myriad of other policies that has decreased the power of working people, led to our economic crisis, and increased the wealth of the 1% at the expense of the 99%. We desperately need to take our democracy back, and that's why this issue transcends and unites every issue all of us work on here. It's wonderful to get this award for Fair Elections for New York, but it actually won't happen unless we make it happen over the next 3 weeks, and we need your help to take our democracy back. So right now, I need every single person in this room to commit to calling Governor Cuomo tomorrow to tell him we need to get this done. And we're going to make it really easy for you to do that. Clapping is good, but you actually really have to make the phone call. And in order to do that, I need you to take out your cell phones and text us, because you're going to send us a text, and we're going to send you the information tomorrow to make the call. So take out your cell phones right now. Dan's demonstrating. I want you to text to the phone number you're texting to is 877-877. So to 877-877, text the word Cuomo, as in the name of our governor, C-U-O-M-O. So text the word Cuomo to 877-877. So if you send that text to 877-877, right in the message Cuomo, we will send you a text tomorrow with the information how to make that call. And when you get that text tomorrow, please make that call to Governor Cuomo and let him know we need to get this done, and we need to get this done right now. As you're texting, I'm going to turn this over, and when he finishes texting, to my colleague, Dan Cantor.
Thank you. It is likewise an honor to help represent the Fair Elections Coalition. Delight to work with the astounding Karen Scharf, and I will keep it brief. Politics is hard. The great German sociologist Max Weber, who I believe was Miles's first intern, once described political change as roughly akin to a drill and the slow boring through hard wood. and that is what it often feels like. It's not hard for everyone. Those who protect the fortunes of the wealthy, it's the job of Republicans and all too many Democrats. It's not so hard for them, but for people like those in this room whose hearts still beat on the left, it's not so easy. It's not so easy to build a world where life chances are not determined at birth. It's not so easy to build a world in which inequality of mind-boggling proportions that Brother Reynoso was talking about is challenged. It's not so easy to build a world characterized by democracy and equality. Those two commitments to democracy and equality are what bind the fair elections fight to Demos, in my opinion. But I like Demos for more than its rock-solid values and its real-time research and its razor-sharp engagement in state and federal battles. I kind of like Demos. It's a full-service operation. I get a credit card bill, I got a problem on it, you call Tamara Drought, and she fixes it. It's incredible. It's election day, you don't know where to vote. You call Heather, it's like, where's my polling site? You're a little uncertain after the 400th Wall Street Journal editorial about why we need more austerity and to really punish the people who don't have it very well. And you think, am I right to question the stupidity of dominant views? And you call Bob Herbert, and you think, oh yeah, I'm right. And of course, if you are lost on the Merritt Parkway, you call Miles Rappaport. So that's Demos. I think, like everyone in the Fair Elections Coalition, I've been a fan of it since it started. We are very grateful for your work, grateful for this recognition, grateful that you understand just how ruthless the enemies of democracy really are, and we are grateful for the collective work we intend to do together over the coming years. Thank you very much.